So this instrument is called a viola da gamba, which means a leg viol, or a leg fiddle, I guess. And viola, or viol, or vihuela, those are all related words that refer to string instruments. And so it's called a leg viol because we hold it with our legs. And that makes it different than the viola da braccia, which I'm not sure if I got the gender right on that word. So anyway, which is an arm viol, so the family of our modern family of violins and violas and even cellos, even though they're held like this, they're part of that family, and so they're called arm viols. Anyway, this instrument was very popular for a number of centuries, and it was popular before the cello was developed, and so at the end of it was very popular at the end of the Renaissance period and right into the Baroque period, and even later Baroque composers like Bach wrote music for it. So it's about the size of a cello, except it's quite different. It's got 6 strings, and it's tuned in fourths. So that means there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 notes between each string. Except here there's a third. 1, 2, 3. And then here's the fourths again. So, and that's different than the cello and all the other instruments in the violin family, which are tuned in fifths. So that's a big difference. The other difference is that it's got frets, and that helps with being able to play chords across the strings. So it helps with intonation, but more than that, it actually helps with making every note sound like an open string. So that's and then the remaining big difference is the way that we hold the bow. That we use an underhand bow hold, where we actually have our fingers right on the hair, and so what that does, it means that our strong bow is our up bow, and our weaker bow is our down bow, which is the opposite of the violin family and opposite of cellos. And so that means that we tend to bow everything backwards from the way that the violin family does it. Interestingly enough, a lot of viola da gamba players also became cello players, and actually even to this day there are many cello players who have explored the viola da gamba, but this underhand grip way of holding the bow is actually a way that some cellists even continued to play like that. And so these days there are actually quite a few historically informed cellists who are experimenting and more than experimenting, performing with this underhand viola da gamba bow hold. So I'm not a cellist. I'm actually originally a double bass player, and the double bass is kind of interesting because it actually has its roots as an instrument in both the violin family and in the viola da gamba family, because there were giant instruments, double bass instruments made in both of those families, and many double bassists, including myself, hold our bass bows underhanded. Not exactly like this. It's a different way of holding. It's more like that. I don't know if you can see that, But anyways, it's an interesting pathway to the viola da gamba to come from double bass, because you do feel like there is some connection there, and also as a guitarist, the viola da gamba is tuned very similar to a guitar. So for all you guitarists out there, if you were to take your guitar and tune your G string down to an F sharp, and then just take your whole instrument and tune it down one whole step, you'd have this tuning. And so as a result, a lot of the patterns, the chord patterns and scale patterns, finger patterns in reflexes are already built into your hands. If you ever wanted to, into your left hand, if you wanted to pick up the viola da gamba.